Welcome to Games Gone By,
So,
episode Little Nightmares.
yeah,
I was
Episode
wondering,
nightmares.
episode
welcome to the
Nightmares.
nightmare, to
To
the
the
nightmare.
nightmare.
Whoa! I'm not
That's a good.
singing
That's a
that.
good song on Beat Saber
Everything. Oh, Beat Saber, yeah, that's a good one. Was that part of
DLC
it? Yeah, I bought it, so I have it. So either that or I did, some shady shit.
on Oculus.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm Adrian. You got Gory here. You got David here. This
Hell yeah.
our monthly video game book club. We go on here. We all pick a game every month. We go through it, and some of us for the first time. Some of us played it before. Sometimes we all played it before actually. But yeah, this was February pick, and this was Gore's pick with Little Nightmares. We're getting deep into season 2 now, though. So let me list off the games. If you're listening now, we do have a list of games coming forward. A couple they very rarely change, but we do have at least what the tentative ones are, and we probably have a fan vote at some point. Probably in it looks like, what was it? We were saying July or August might be a fan vote. Our schedule is as follows, though. Our next episode of Games Gone By will be March 25th, Earth Defense Force 5, which we will be streaming not this Sunday, but the following Sundays. Me, Gore, and David will be playing EDF on stream on twitch.tv/thepunk, where you're seeing this right now. The following month, April 29th, is Hellblade's The Newest Sacrifice. That's my pick. May 27th, Gore's pick again with 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. June 24th, David with Parasite Eve. Mine's Metal Wolf Chaos in July. Gore's is Stardew Valley in August, and wrapping up our picks for season 2 will be David with Tokyo Jungle in September.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is Little Nightmares. This was originally Beyond Good and Evil HD or whatever one. Doesn't really matter. But we swapped it because February looking kind of thick with game releases and stuff that we had to do. So Gore swapped it out with Little Nightmares, and I mean, we don't really have to talk about why. I think your point was because you want to play a second one.
I'm sorry, what?
You don't really have to talk about why, because I think your primary reason to picking it was because you want to play the second one and you knew this was short.
Second one, what?
Second Little Nightmares.
What's that?
I hate you.
Whackity schmackity doo.
Thanks.
No, I really wanted to play Little Nightmares because I needed something really short.
Penis joke.
Oh no, I was talking about my dick. But no, I needed something shorter because I didn't want to play a longer game, and the sequel was coming out at the point when I switched it. It's been out for now. I mean, yeah, I have it. I haven't even opened it yet, but I wanted to play the first one because I never finished it. Yeah, so I heard it's great, and the sequel has been getting great reviews. It's a shorter game, like a Limbo-sized kind of.
Very inspired by Limbo, it feels like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the primary
Limbo's
thing.
Inspired by it.
Yeah, sure. By
Contra,
it, like
okay.
actual it. Stephen King's it.
Yeah, like it. Yeah. Remember the clown in Limbo?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I was really wanting to play it for a few years, and obviously I bought it when it first came out. That's rare now, by the way.
Yeah, it is very rare.
I still have the figure. I just have to find it. The figure, mine came out all like messed up. It was like leaning, like it's like fucking Michael Jackson or some shit. But it was like, it was weird. But I was like, all right, whatever. I had it displayed for a little while, but I still have that box in the game. So so I wanted to play it for a little while, and we'll get to it. But I liked it.
So quick impressions. I do want to hear David's because I know he's not a big fan of these types of games. I know I had to really sell him on Inside, so I'm curious what he felt like with Little Nightmares.
So this is one I played with the girlfriend there because I looked a little bit into the game. I was like, she'll probably get a kick out of this. And I sat her down. We started playing through. And she's like, so what is this game about? I'm like, I don't know. It's some fucking artsy message game. And she's like, okay, all right. Because she went to school, she's an art major from New Jersey originally. So she gets really big and wild into a lot of this shit. And I'm like, all right, this will probably, at least even if I don't get enjoyment out of it.
God, you guys are so different sometimes.
Fine. It'll be fun to kind of watch her reaction on it. I'm so glad I played it with her because I think I was less hostile towards this than she was.
Right. Okay. So should we bring her? Should we bring her in here?
No, she wouldn't do that. But
so wait, so she was critical of it, but like, was it critical of it because it didn't have an artsy meaning, or because she just didn't like the art style? Because I love the art style of it, honestly.
no, the thing that we both agreed on is it is a gorgeous game. It is one thing nice. That
the lighting is amazing.
Initial impression, the world is intriguing. The art is fantastic. The sound design is great. The attempt at trying to do a message is so overt and obvious and just hit you over the head with it that it's insulting to call it an artsy game, because there's no real message to it beyond just the very surface level of overconsumption. And it's, I mean, I'm kind of getting into all my deeper thoughts here, but it's not this is a prime example of why I don't like these types of games, is because the crux of the game, what they want you to get out of it, is that air quotes deeper meaning. But if you already get and understand that kind of deeper meaning early on, then you're just going through the motions. Because the platforming is fine. It's not bad. I've certainly played worse platformers.
Sure.
But beyond that, what I care about was like, all right, I want more of this mood. I want more of this atmosphere. Teach me this world. Sure. And it's like, no. You don't get that. That's not what this is about. It's about the message. It's about the meaning. Really? It's like, fuck you.
I didn't. Oh shit. I didn't think there really. I mean, I know the message you're talking about, but I didn't think it was like. I thought it was just supposed to be kind of like it more of just a creepy experience with some platforming, some puzzle solving, like light puzzle solving. I thought it was more like just like it was trying to build lore, if anything, like, because there's a deep lore to this. If you go in their Wikipedia, I was just like, because someone made, of course, a wiki for
this. There's a whole last like long
dude. Like I was like, let me just go through 6. That's our main character. And there's like paragraphs about her. I'm like, what the fuck? Because there's a comic and there's an iPhone game, and
see, that's the thing. Is like sequel. None of that is in this.
Well, but I mean it. I don't mind that, especially since there's 3 DLCs we didn't play, by the way. I'm assuming not. There's 3 DLCs.
Yeah, I didn't play any DLCs.
They're all like an hour.
Can I suggest?
But like,
okay,
good.
And I'll give my thoughts after this, but I think, not that I understand why you did, David. I think you might have dug so deep for a meaning that maybe you kind of felt like you didn't get. I mean, you obviously got you get. I get what you. The overconsumption thing's a thing, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it beats you over the head when in chapter 4 when you get all the fat dudes go on the boat and then they're eating me fat, me eat. And of course you have the cooks before that. Yeah, I know you have the cooks and you have the guy that's like grabbing all the kid. It's all about that. I get that, but I felt like the message is there, but it was also there to be creepy and have some sort of lore to kind of dig through, because there is little things like you'll find secret areas where you find the geisha woman at the end of the movie. The game. Was she a geisha? The tall woman. Yeah. You'll see like little hidden rooms where there's like it's almost like not an altar, but like just a picture is there. And it's kind of like I don't know, like I don't want to say a tribute room because that means something different now, but it's like, like a place where, okay, they're building up to this woman, and you even see her kind of like watching all the fat dudes come up. You'll even see her kind of in the background sometimes, like being creepy.
Yeah, she's one of the most fascinating parts, and she's just in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, she's not in it very long. And her boss fight is
weak.
Is weak, but like I wasn't expecting a boss fight in this game, so when that happened, I was like, oh shit, and I was like, okay. It was very easy though. I mean, it was tense, I thought, but it was like easy after it was all said and done. Sure. So I was like, okay. And the overconsumption, of course, when it comes to like her being hungry all the time, and then she eats, she just eats anything, and to the point where she even eats one of those little gnome guys.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was gonna hold off on saying, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we're just full on spoilers. So, even though you're helping them throughout, I was trying to get all of them. I missed one of them, which fucking pissed me off. But I missed one of them, even though I don't think I did. I think I hugged it, but it didn't register. So fuck this game. But yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back. I have to figure out which one it was. But yeah, no. I thought all of the story stuff was very limbo, where it doesn't tell you exactly what's going on. Obviously, you're kind of thrown into a creepy area. You go from point A to point B. There's some platforming and puzzle solving. There's some enemies that want to kill you. It's very limbo. Not that Limbo invented that, but still Limbo made it more, I guess, not cinematic, but like more.
They really brought that style in, like of like it being, because that was definitely my first. I mean, Braid was my first artsy indie, but like it felt so ham-fisted that I considered Limbo really my first artsy indie.
Yeah, Braid is a.
We talked about that. So with the game, obviously it felt very Limbo. I thought it was like ridiculously easy. Like I thought I was gonna like I had actually. I looked on how long to beat, and it said like 5 hours. But then I
think that might be what everything though now.
Yeah, because I looked at I looked at a walkthrough, and I was like, oh, like an hour 45. I'm like, okay, that's nothing. I'll procrastinate the fuck out of this, because I played through a bit more, and I was like, okay, I feel like I'm taking my time a bit, but I looked and I was like progressing just along. It was ridiculously easy. Maybe that's just because of me having played games like Limbo and Inside and kind of knowing the ins and outs of like, because it felt very Limbo-esque, where it's like, all right, there's a puzzle here, but it didn't really try to be like, maybe a little bits were like, okay, well, what do you do in this? But the room was so small that's like, well, you can only do a couple. You can literally like run out of options of what to do within like 3 minutes. You know, if you hold the hold button and walk around or something, you're bound to do something. Or like, it's hard to be stuck in some. Whereas Limbo, it's like you got a lot of place to work with and a lot of different factors to work with. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Same with Inside. And it felt like the puzzles weren't like as the puzzles were very.
I feel like they're very situational. Like you'll be in an area where like there's a guy trying to hunt you down, and it felt more tense because you had that to deal with too.
It didn't really feel like it differentiated a lot of things, because it felt like, okay, there's a guy there, you gotta avoid him, do this, do that. But like, at least with like something Inside, one of my favorite like puzzles in there was like, you see the people walking and you're like, oh, I gotta start acting like them. So you walk in line with them, like that was a cool puzzle that you kind of had to like observe things for,
Right.
This one, it felt like, okay, well, they're gonna, like we were talking about on Blue Rubies, was, all right, there's a pattern, wait for the opening, walk there, hide, do that anyway.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm getting into deeper thoughts of it. I liked it. I love how grotesque it is. It's grotesque as all hell.
Yeah, it's grotesque, but it's still rated T, which I found like they're pushing that T.
I'm super shocked it wasn't just M, because like they had straight bodies just hanging, and I was like,
yeah. Well, Limbo was rated T, so.
But that was also
that was a dude. You could see the boy getting his head cut off.
Sure, but it was black and white and like 2D.
Sure,
so I felt like
this
maybe
was mostly black and white.
But this was still like kind of I guess. But
I didn't see too many death scenes. But
sure.
I'm assuming
and they got away with that without that T, because they didn't really show the boy or the girl dying.
Yeah,
really grotesque.
Because they were grab her. The ones I got were just like them grabbing her, and then I didn't see an eat one. I just saw one like they grab her and like take her away.
The fat dudes that chase after that crawl after you, if they grab you, they'll eat you.
Yeah, I assumed that, but I didn't get killed there. That was like nerve juice. I was just like, fuck, like that's the kind of chase sequence I like in a horror game, because there's a lot of those, especially in Chapter 4. I thought that was all
those
great.
chase scenes were all really good. I thought it was cool. Yeah. You have to navigate around their fingers pretty much.
Yeah.
That part was
actually,
good.
I did get killed there. Actually,
I
was thinking about the chase.
So pissed that I didn't get away from those two motherfuckers, the two butchers. I missed out on the first because the controls are very hard on Switch. Especially handheld mode.
I think they're hard on Xbox too, because there's times where you have to hold like 3 different buttons. Yeah. So hold on to a key, jump, and then like fucking maneuver around things, and then you have to hold the A button to throw something quick so you can get an elevator.
Yeah, and the platforming wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be. So when the butchers were chasing after me, I just couldn't get the jump down. Like I just kept bumping into it. I'm like, motherfucker, and I missed a really cool like just barely get out of the way, because that was just swift. It felt like that dog in Inside, where it's like almost gonna get you, but it knows the player enough that it times it so that you will get away if you just do well enough. But no, to the earlier point, I get, David, that you're looking for a meaning behind it, but I never really went into this thinking it was artsy, honestly.
I just read a little bit about that. Hey, there's a message to the game, and it's not like you have to try to look for it. It literally is overtly obvious.
I agree, but I also didn't think that was the only reason. I guess that's my
I got that a few years ago when I played, because I did play like maybe like half this game a few years ago, and then I just kind of gave up. Not that it was hard or anything. I just stopped playing. But I got that immediately. Like it's weird. It doesn't really It doesn't. I don't think it hits you over the head. I think it just like leaves it out there. And I don't think it's like very. It's obvious, but it's not like get it like every 5 minutes.
But
no one's giving you a monologue, which is nice.
Like
no,
she
but
gets hungry sometimes. You're like, oh, what's going on?
Constantly giving you that same thing, especially with the hunger pangs that happen throughout, and that gradual buildup of like, okay, you're hungry, you're gonna eat something to survive, whatever, and then it just kind of gets to a point
where more animalistic, which I appreciate. Because at first, like the kid throws you. I think that kid is in the DLC, by the way. The one that throws you the food in the beginning. And you eat it. I think so. I'm pretty sure. I think that's the kid you play as in Little Nightmares 2 with the bag on his head.
Hold on. So,
but then later on, you're eating shit from like a rat cage, and then of course it leads up to you eating the gnome, and then at the end you eat the fucking geisha woman.
Is base Little Nightmares just that kid, or just a 6, or is it have?
It's just 6. It's
okay,
just 6.
So I guess I bought a DLC because on Switch it gave me the option to play as the kid right afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I bought a DLC on accident.
Yeah, I don't have the DLC, so.
Yeah, I mean the DLC either.
Yeah, I just had the disc. Disc.
I did like the progression of. I guess I liked 6 when she got when
I like 6 is like
when you saw
she's a survivor, which
when
I
you
like.
saw
she's like 10 years old.
That was a pretty rough one when you saw the kid and you saw 6 walking over and you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, I know.
You knew what was gonna happen to your motherfucker.
Yeah. Yep. I appreciate that. I appreciate exactly. I appreciate that in a game like this. Like even the Limbo kid didn't really do like heinous stuff. I would
the
say
most
like,
heinous thing they did was use bodies as like a.
I mean that's your only option to get across.
Yeah, they're already dead.
And like the spider, like he's already dead.
Yeah, fuck that spider.
Yeah, he was a dick, but I mean he was trying to survive too. Come on.
You did fuck over some of those kids. Remember when they were running after you and trying to kill you? You pushed the magnets,
sure.
And they would crush them because they'd follow into the traps. But they're trying to kill you, yeah. So
yeah, fuck that, you defend yourself. Here, like she's like she can eat the sausage, but she eats the gnome instead. Which she's hungry and she's probably animalistic at that point. That she's just like, oh, living stuff, not some sausage shit.
You see the gnomes? I thought that was just like some fucking.
The gnomes.
Yeah, but
they're so ghibli. Like they kind of like shake when they move and stuff.
That's some fucking pyramid head like.
Yeah, the head's straight up pyramid.
Yeah, that's some like origin story to pyramid head. Like that pyramid head's probably watching 6 eat his fucking friend.
Yeah.
He's like,
my kids, my kids.
Now I'm gonna go and hunt this other dude.
And I like that at the end when she escapes, you see all the gnomes show up, and she's like, "Yeah, that's right. Bow to me." That's how I read it, at least. Sure. That's not what they're ending. I don't think. Really.
But yeah, no, like I absolutely love the art style.
Yeah, I love it. The graphics are great. I
even on Switch they looked fine.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say because the lighting's so fucking good.
On Switch is really good too.
I know it's really good, but I know it's not as good. It's not as crisp. There's no way it can.
No,
I can't even do like 1080p most of the time.
I guess I missed when it was Games of Gold, but I'm looking to buy a copy of the game anyway, hard copy. And I'll probably replay it on there just to.
The complete edition's expensive on Xbox, but I think the regular one's still like $20.
Yeah, I'm just get that and just get the DLC on its own. But no, I enjoyed my time with it, and it was a nice, decent size. Like I said, it felt even shorter than usual just because it didn't have any challenging puzzles. Honestly, like every puzzle was relatively straightforward. If it was challenging, it wasn't challenging for long because you just didn't have that much to work with.
Right.
Like you can only die so many times, and loading times suck ass on Switch. By the way,
dude, it sucked on Xbox. No, it sucked on Xbox too. Every time you die, you'd have to wait like 30 seconds.
There's like no loading on Linux.
Well, good for you. Okay, we had to wait. But how long was it for Switch? Because I was like baffled how it like I'm playing on Xbox One X, not even like fucking a baby Xbox One, and it was like taking like 25 seconds to like 30 seconds to load.
No, like that. That legitimately like discouraged me. So every time I'm like, all right, I can't die. I don't want to wait.
Yeah.
So I actually did less.
On Series X, it probably is snappy. So
now you got it.
No, that was just an empty box. Yeah, Neo sent me an empty box. Nothing in it. I sent him money. What an asshole.
He never talked to him again.
I'm gonna shame him on YouTube. No one will watch it.
YouTube.
No one will watch it.
But so David, I'm curious. Have you shown your girlfriend stuff like Inside or Limbo, and maybe you saw if she would like those? Those are probably much more upper
I haven't
alley.
shown her anything of that stuff. No,
I feel like those are much more her upper alley of what she'd probably enjoy. Assuming that
possibly.
since you liked Inside probably more than you expected to.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't like
Inside was still stretching it though. Like I really didn't get into it until midway when I actually started having gameplay.
Sure.
Well, we can all agree Little Nightmares has gameplay. You might not like it. That's gameplay. I mean, it's not just walk from point A to point B.
Very solid little platformer. Like I have no complaints on the gameplay.
I like that it took the environment and like made it make sense for the platforming. So you start up a hook like system thing where it's like moving around, and you use that to progress through the level. You're going on like you're walking above like not support beams, but like just like boards there up in the roof that would probably be there. Just like you're climbing on sausages at one point.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting environmental interaction.
Yeah. And I like that it takes into account that you're small. So like a sausage link would be giant compared to you. So you have to use that besides just use a little rope. Who would use a little rope? Like who makes little rope for little people? Nobody. You use a rope for big people. So she had to use a sausage link. 3 exactly. Because you have to grind. Can I just mention how tense the game is at times though? Because when you're running, and there's a lot of times where you have to be quick, like get to the elevator, get to this, get to that. You turn the TV on for the librarian guy that captures you, so you have to fucking take that key and go get the fuck out of there. For me, I got caught there, so it was like I had to fucking go and hide and stuff. And I was trying to get the 100% collectibles, and there's a candle there too, and that's one of the achievements. So I'm like, oh fuck, I had to put the key down, fucking light it up, get the key. He's coming for you. I'm gonna fuck it out of here.
Dude, there was a couple of those. I was willing, like, all right, let me test to see if it saves the candle progression. It does. Cool. I'm gonna suicide a couple of these, and then I'll deal with actually solving this after.
Right. Yeah, that's probably what I should have did, but
you didn't want to spend 90 minutes of your life waiting for loading times.
For the loading times, half the game's length on fucking loading times. But I didn't die too many times, so that was good. It is an easy game. I feel like these type of games don't need to be like the most challenging. I didn't think Inside was that challenging. I didn't think Limbo was really that challenging.
Limbo definitely was more, I think, among those 3.
Sure, because it was like the first of its type,
and
so
it's
like one of those things you have to kind of think more so.
They made it a lot more puzzly, whereas Inside is a lot more atmospheric.
A lot of like boxes you have to move in that game.
Yeah,
and things. And this one has a couple of things you have to move, obviously. Like
plus. Limbo has the thing of being, since the art style doesn't really credit to it, everything blends in so much that you don't know what you're supposed to be moving. It's not as obvious, whereas I feel like in Little Nightmares, in Inside, because they're 3D and the lighting is so prevalent that it kind of makes what you need to do stand out, like, oh, you see this, oh, there's like a stack of papers there, it looks like you can climb that, right? It looks climbable, whereas like Limbo's kind of like everything kind of blends in with one another, so it definitely is. You got to like kind of maneuver a lot more. But yeah, no, it's enjoyable. I'm just so I'm curious. The deep dive. I'm sure there's a deep dive on YouTube, and I'm sure that these DLCs are.
People like this game for a lot of different reasons besides just the game being good. I think it's because there's such a like Five Nights at Freddy's. There's actually like a lore if you go deep in. Like it's not just the message. There's the message obviously, but there's like more to it. Like the place you're in is called the Maw. You don't know that in the game. But you're trying to escape the Maw. I didn't get deep into it, but like there's fucking YouTube videos about people talking about the lore and shit. There's like 107 things you don't know about Little Nightmares. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because they don't put it in the fucking game.
Yeah, well, that's fine. They don't put it in Limbo.
Yeah,
either,
but
really.
but
and especially Inside, you don't know what the fuck's going on inside until you read more stuff later.
Yeah, but that's a lot of games. I think. I think
I'm okay with that as long as you don't beat me over the head with a message, or which I don't think you did. I think you did. You thought it did, but I didn't think it did. And you give me a satisfying experience, like with an ending that I can enjoy in some way. And it being minimalist when it comes to its story was fine, because at the end when a creepy lady, geisha lady shows up and you're fighting her, and it's just like, oh, it's another creepy thing in this world. I'm good with not knowing exactly who she is. it's just a creepy thing. It's fine.
If
This
you
game
want to
is all
go in
about creepy.
blank mind, be like, hey, this is some kid in
Yeah.
a weird fucking area. Got to get
Yeah,
out.
she
Cool.
wakes up in a weird area, just like Limbo. Limbo kid wakes up in a weird area. There's monsters trying to get him. He has to hide. Well, I guess in Limbo you don't hide, but in this one you have to hide. And yeah, you have to just make it out. And along the way, you become more animalistic, more of a survivor. You start eating things that maybe you shouldn't eat because they're cute. I think, at least. I like.
No, the gnomes are great.
I love them. I want a little figure of the gnome just to put right next
on
to.
Etsy, you'll find one.
Oh, sure. Actually, I'm gonna look now.
Yeah, I'll look too.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm gonna look. Oh, look, me first.
Me. But no, because that's that. I'm honestly kind of getting a little tired of a lot of the more interesting parts of a game not actually being in the fucking game, and I think this one really brought that frustration out because the aesthetic, the tone, like everything, mood and atmosphere about this game was fantastic. So I wanted to get engrossed in that. I wanted to give me some more attachment, give me some kind of reason to keep going through it other than just this message. And go ahead.
I know, because I know you and I, especially with our background and stuff like the web series stuff that we would delve into, we like a good story that's beefy and has a lot of lore to it. If, like, hypothetically, and I don't even know how it is, I didn't watch it. I do expect I will come back and talk about Little Nightmares more on our retrospective of season 2, because I'm sure by then I'll have played all of this. David, if like hypothetically, let's say you watched a video, and let's say that all this stuff was in the background, but you just didn't really notice it, or maybe we were not exploring enough. Would that make you appreciate it more, or was that still kind of fall in the line of it didn't do what it was supposed to? Because I know a lot of games. It would
depend on how deep into that, because like it's kind of neat when you can throw in some background detail that when you pay attention, it's like, oh, okay, that really kind of helps to explain some other things. Or when you kind of add in that little detail, it's like, oh, okay, it's alluding to something here. But for this, it wouldn't be enough because, granted, it's such a flash in the pan game. I mean, you're kind of in and out very quick. It's very conservative, or it's very, reasonable time investment. But at the same time, there's nothing. It does nothing to get me emotionally invested in what's going on beyond, all right, well, I know I'm playing this kind of a childlike thing. I don't even really know what the fuck I'm playing other than just it is small and there are other larger things. There's people that look like they're wearing people's suits because they just got so many layers of fucking fat on them. Mm-hmm. And there's weird, like, pyramid fucking gangly aesthetic grabby arm dudes. I don't understand anything about that, but that's kind of cool. Which I will say, that was the greatest fucking monster in that fucking game. I love that design aesthetic. It kind of reminded me. Yeah. It kind of reminded me.
I knew you were gonna cut that motherfucker's arms too when you saw it. I'm like, ooh, just give it to me.
Of course, you gotta come on.
But it's one of those things that it does so much to, again, get you visually. How to phrase this? It would be like going into like a Tim Burton film and be like, okay, visually I understand a lot of this, but then you take out all the dialogue and you take out all the setup, and it's like, well, I know there's a lot visually kind of telling me the mood and the atmosphere I'm trying to be going for here, but beyond that, I have no context. I have no reason to care. And some things pull that off pretty well. Sometimes a purely visual medium can be really good just telling its story visually, but there wasn't even really telling much of a story visually either, is my problem with it.
Do you know if they went into this game knowing how much this was going to be pulled apart, so they started implementing it like afterwards? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder.
Yeah, no, I know you're talking about. They just started adding more.
Because like for example, like Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm not too sure, but I think a lot of people there are talking about the lore. It's in the game, but you have to really like look at the environment and stuff, and kind of pieces together. So I'm not too sure, honestly. I haven't gone deep into the lore myself yet.
Okay.
Because I only finished it yesterday. And today, other things. I didn't want to do it, but I didn't look at.
So
I didn't feel like looking at a website and reading the lore.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm not going to until I finish DLC. But
there's a comic also. There's a comic series. So
I'm curious. I understand David's frustration with it, and I can agree with that too.
Sure,
I'm
I
just
don't mind that though.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious if it's if withholding the lore, or if it's like, oh, you know what, we added tidbits enough. Let's just keep adding to it. We already done with the game. Let's keep adding, rather than withholding.
What do
You know
I?
what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you. But what I compare it to is like Dark Souls. Everybody loves the lore of Dark Souls, but they don't tell you shit in the actual game. You have to read. I mean, I guess they do tell you shit in the game. You have to read fucking weapons. You have to look at the weapons, and it describes things
It's
about
Destiny's
the lore.
Grimoire.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Grimoire sucks ass though.
Which
'Cause-
I'll agree. That is also the weakest part of Destiny's lore. Is I love the lore of Destiny, but it's fucking dumb the lengths they have to go to, especially where because of its MMO nature, you can't even go back and find a lot of that. That's just missing because of updates and changes that go throughout.
But Destiny, the reason why that's upsetting is because the lore you get in Destiny is kind of cool, but there's barely any of it. Where in Little Nightmares, I feel like the lore was so mysteriously told that you might not even think there's lore, and it's just like a mysterious game in itself that you'll be like, oh, it's creepy, and there's a lot of nice visuals.
That's where I'm
again, it's not
leaning
long
on,
too, so
is
like I don't find it annoying when there's not a lot of like info. I just find it like okay, so or a story. I just find okay. So
I felt like I missed a lot of it when I was going through it, because I felt like I felt like this is actually one of the games where I tried to go the way that had more stuff to it, but I ended up going the right direction. Right. It was too late to go back, where you got a fork in the path, or yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that, like, I mean, I was trying to get the collectibles, so like I go further. I'm like, oh, can I go back? I'm like, no.
And then you go back. I hate that when you go away and you're like, oh wait, no, this is the right way. You go back and you're like farther. You're like, no wait, this is the right way. So you go back. And you're like, all right.
Yeah, I have that same problem with like fucking like RPGs and game, or not even RPG, like linear games that like give you here's a thing over here, you can go there and do side thing maybe. I'm like, all right, cool, and then I go that way, and then that's actually the main thing.
Get ready for
I'm doing the main thing
that.
now. I just missed.
You're gonna go into so many palaces. You're gonna take the wrong turn, and then you're gonna be like, fuck, this is the right turn. You're gonna go back and find treasure chests the other way, but you walk all the way back out there.
It's just treasure chests. I don't care about that.
Yeah, so I've been just kind of quickly glancing through the Wikia to kind of see, and it looks like a lot of it isn't in the like main game proper. It looks like a lot of it's just been added on through supplemental stuff over the time.
Yeah, like the comic.
Is that
that's what I mean. I you can piece things together if you look at the game's environments and stuff. From what I'm hearing, like just little things. I'm not saying there's like a deep lore in just the base game. There's a deep lore now though.
So
you have 3 DLCs. You have a comic. You have an iPhone game.
It feels very. It sounded to me very like Five Nights at Freddy's, where they added enough stuff to look mysterious.
That's why I brought that up earlier. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then they're like, you know what, this did so well, people like it. Let's add on to something we wrote about in there. I don't know if that makes you appreciate it more.
No.
David. Okay, so but I get that, and I kind of understand that approach, because you don't know how well this is gonna do. If this is a new IP, and these kind of games don't even do well with big publishers. I'm actually very surprised that this got published by Bandai Namco, honestly.
Yeah, it was huge too. This game did very well.
I could totally have seen this flopping hard though too.
That's why when Little Nightmares 2 came out, I think it was like shown at like, I forgot, it was like at was it like Gamescom or something? It was like when it got announced, it was during something, and that was like the biggest announcement there. And that was the same one they announced. What's that space game? The funny one where you play the little like minion looking dudes and you build the ship.
Journey to the Savage Planet.
No, that has nothing. That's nothing even close to.
I heard space.
You just made a fucking. You just brought a game up that has space. And that's
the Maw.
No, the funny one where you build a ship and it fucks up.
Kerbal
Space Program. They announced
the second serious.
Game. Yeah. No, I'm not being serious. I'm a joke.
Pikmin.
No, it's Kerbal. Space Program.
They announced Pikmin 3.
No, it's Kerbal Space Program too. It was that game. But which that game I don't think is ever coming out now. But
yeah, so I guess I get David's frustration with it.
I don't.
I could see why. It seemed like a big gamble. I could see the devs not wanting to put like as much effort into it. If they're like, well, if it crashes and we spent all that extra time doing stuff, that sucks. But if it did well and they're like, all right, now we can add to it because we confidently at least added little tidbits of it here or there. I guess I get that.
I don't. Do better next time.
Decore's pick. I don't care about this.
Fuck this game. Whoever picked this is a fucking sex maniac. And has a huge
Scrote.
penis.
Scrote.
A huge scrote. Just the scrote.
All right. Final thoughts. Unless anyone else has something else to say about this.
It's gorgeous. I think it's tense. The running sequences are great.
I love the chase sequence. I think chase sequences in this
Chapter
game
4 is
are
great.
really
I love
well
that.
done.
Chapter 4 is fantastic. That's the one where the fat guys go after.
My favorite moment in the game.
I fucked.
My favorite moment in the game, and I love when games do this. They kind of give you a little taste of what you're gonna see later on. So you look at that eye, and you see that big dude. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have to kill that motherfucker or something. Yeah. You see them all there. You're like, all right, these are the people I'm gonna deal with coming forward. All right,
yeah,
let's do this.
And then they all just start trying to grab you at the end. They just fucking I don't know what's going on exactly. I'm sure in the lore, but you're just like fucking murdering them without even like doing anything. That was a badass moment when you're walking through the.
Yeah, they're like, oh, food.
Ooh, little thing. Even though I have plenty of like mountains of food here, that thing's alive. I need to eat.
We're alive.
And die.
Story of survival.
This is the story of a girl that killed fat people and drowned the whole world.
Oh yeah.
All right, final thoughts then.
So, drowned the whole world because she's when she gets out of the thing, it's like all the water. The world's drowned. This is the story of a girl. Oh, maybe it's Rapture.
Rapture?
Rapture.
Yeah. All right, David, final thoughts.
Rapture.
I fucking hated it, but I think atmospherically it's great, but beyond that,
it was a good platformer. How you hate it?
I thought it was a fun little platformer. Yeah, I would never touch this game again. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. Yeah, it's good platforming. I like the graphics, the atmosphere. 0 out of 10. Fuck this game. Too much water.
I liked it. I'll go through it again to do some of the deals. It was short enough that I love people piecing lore together. Honestly, so I can see myself going through the DLCs.
You bought a whole $400 collector's edition for one, just so you can get a little piece of like a lore thing or whatever, right? Wasn't there like a piece of paper?
I didn't know that was a thing. That was a bonus.
No.
Yeah, no one knew that was a thing.
Yeah. Obviously, you threw it away. What an asshole.
No, I kept it.
No, but didn't you throw it away? But then you found it.
No, I thought I threw it away, but I smartly put it back in the collector's box.
I'm a smart.
I'm a smart. I liked it. I'll go through the DLCs, and I imagine because I want to play the second one for sure. I imagine myself going through one of those YouTube rabbit holes and look at that. But I also see Little Nightmares 2 dropping in price. That's why I didn't buy it at launch.
I don't know. Right now, like it was actually hard to find on Switch. I think it's hard to find right now. So
I'll have to buy the original though. I'll probably buy the original and then get 2 right after this podcast.
No, I'm saying Little Nightmares 2 is getting hard to find.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Gore. I got people.
It's hard. No, you don't. You don't have anybody. I'm the only one. I'm the only one you have.
Hell yeah.
And I'm rejecting you.
And Gore, your final thoughts.
Fuck you. You know, I knew these assholes wouldn't like the fucking
What are you talking about? I liked it.
These guys suck. No, you didn't like it. You're lying. What an asshole. Whatever. You know who you think is the correct.
Look, it's fine. Correct. We got a whole month to play EDF, in which case they will tell me live how much they hate that.
I don't know, and man. The fucking the message about shoot the big alien bug.
I like how
hit me over the head.
I like how 2021 has a string of just 3 games that people are gonna hate back to back now.
Right?
David hated No Man's Sky. David hated Little Nightmares. David's gonna hate EDF.
David's gonna hate EDF. Yeah. You know what? This game sucks. We're the only ones who like it. I feel like David didn't care for Metal Gear Rising either because he had a problem with the shield. Yeah, he didn't like anything yet.
What's the next game that he's gonna like?
This season he liked some stuff. Though,
he's gonna like Hellblade, I think.
No, I don't think he's gonna like that.
No,
I get the message. Mental awareness.
but it's done more elegantly. I've heard.
Yeah, and I've already played a bit of Hellblade.
You know what?
I really liked what
that man's gonna.
I guess I should have kept Beyond Good and Evil.
He's gonna fucking love 999. I think.
Oh yeah.
He'll love 999.
You better fucking like it.
He'll like Metal Wolf Chaos because it's gonna be absurd enough. I think.
Yeah, he likes
and it's archaic.
He
likes
jam it up your ass guiding or whatever.
Yeah. He's gonna hate Tokyo Jungle. Whoever picked that.
Yeah, whoever's a douchebag picked that. Parasite Eve. I don't know. That seems too stupid and dumb. I think you like Third Birthday more actually. Should have played that one. This is the story of a girl.
All right,
I mean, that is the story of a girl.
That was that was a joke.
Resident Evil.
No, I didn't change the recorded on for the entire episode. Oh well.
Huh?
I didn't change the recorded on date on there. Oh well, that doesn't matter to me.
Well,
I could change that right now.
Oh, you're talking about
the little date on top.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about you didn't switch it for the games gone by. You didn't switch it for any of it.
No, I just didn't change the date. I changed the name and I put the picture up there.
Wow. All right, let's do the podcast over again.
All right.
Yeah.
David's worst nightmare come true. His little nightmare.
His little nightmare. Big nightmare.
Our stories games gone by, probably, I think. No, I think Street Fighter Cross.
No, I feel like our Mega Man one was really short because it was just like it was hard. He didn't finish it. You shoot. Yeah, that's it. Chun-Li's thighs were not fucking chungus in that game, so fuck it.
All right, Chatbox. Chatbox says good night. We also say good night. Appreciate you guys for watching. Once again, if you're watching this by this point, then
if you're watching this shit.
No. I mean, if you're watching it at enough a later date, check out our audio feed. Give us some likes on there. It'll be on iTunes and all that good stuff. Our schedule, like we were just teasing a little while ago.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and copyright strike.
Really helps us out.
It's gonna keep getting longer and longer.
Hell yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment, raid, do a flip, smoke some crack, jump out your window, fly around, knock on your neighbor,
do a dick
shoot him in the face, do a dab, then do a rafflecopter, then fly into a dumpster, then fucking jump out of the dumpster.
It sounds like,
do
like
a
a boss.
and then
like a boss.
Like a boss. Now I'm dead like a boss.
Earth Defense Force 5 is March 25th. Hellblade
Shut
following
my balls off.
999 after that. Parasite Eve after that. July, Metal Wolf Chaos. Stardew Valley after that. Tokyo Jungle, September.
That's a classic video. Flying to the sun. Now I'm dead. Someone was like, what the fuck? It's such a classic video. So you chopped your balls off and died.
Nah.
That
ain't me.
me.
Chatbox in the chat with one final. Cook the man some more fucking eggs, bitch.
Yeah, cook the man some fucking eggs, bitch.
Thanks for watching.
The fucking classic. That might not ever be topped.